Hi, today I'm joined by Sam Lynch, our Project Director and Account Manager at Jomablue, and we're going to be looking at the value of data at your events and learning some of the tips and tricks from Sam in how you can better manage your events to maximize this. So Sam, in this era of AI, machine learning, hyper-focus on personalizing the customer experience, why don't we just start there? Why is it important? Why is data important for your events?
Yeah, sure. A couple of reasons. An event is a really rich environment to collect information about your customer base. It's a really valuable tool to renew that data as well. And especially around AI, ML, they need huge sources of data, and that needs to be fresh data. And an event used to be just a way of collecting binary data. You invited someone, and they registered, did they turn up or did they not turn up? And that was pretty much the extent of the data you got from an event. Nowadays, and using Jomablue, there's a vast amount of data that you can collect. And it's a really important piece for any event marketer to understand how to make it work for them.
And what are some of the considerations in this new age of data privacy, GDPR? What are some of the considerations in planning and capturing that data at your events?
Yeah, sure. Well, as you know, email marketing is getting less and less penetration. You mentioned GDPR and privacy. We all hold that quite dear. Apple and Google to some extent are leading the way in giving us more options to control how that data is used. So, some of the opportunities that traditionally the web team gathered are becoming less and less. The event space, though, people come to your event. They willingly do things at the event, and really, it's an opportunity to collect subjective data from a registration form, but validate that with objective data. What did someone do at the event? And that's a really powerful new way to use the data.
So just to sort of labour on that point, what you're saying, Sam, is that what people tell us in a registration form is not necessarily how they behave at events?
Yeah, not at all. If I think I fill in a registration form weeks, if not months before going to an event, and I don't really want to give up all that information. I want to get through that form as quickly as possible. So yeah, it's not true. It's not accurate. It might be at the time, but it can go stale before someone actually turns up at the event.
That's great. So I guess if we break up the event journey into three sort of stages, there's pre-event, there's the on-site piece, and then there's post-event. Maybe you could take us through each of those stages, starting with the pre-event process, and give us some insight into what are the things that we should be considering when it comes to capturing valuable data.
Yeah, sure. Email marketing still exists, so there's tools inside Jomablue to send emails, SMS as well. It's a good channel to use. There's available insights on open rates and click rates on that email channel. Really though, it's about sending the right message at the right time, and that's what the Jomablue tools are about. And that's how you can use the data about when's the right time to send a comms, when's the right time to send a reminder email. So that's data that you can collect, especially event on event, year on year. That becomes available in Jomablue Insights.
Okay, so moving on to the on-site piece of the journey, what are some of the things that we can learn from our attendees as they go through the event?
Yeah, that's where the rubber hits the road. That's the time you can capture that most information, the most useful information about someone's journey through the event. The journey starts with printing a badge, printing a name badge, printing a smart badge. It's the time that person arrives. An amazing amount of information becomes available. If I look at Jomablue Insights, I can see when my VIPs arrived, for example. I can see when my prospects arrived. All that information is available in real time. I see that on my mobile phone. I can tell what's happening in real time. That might be a signal to pull forward catering if everyone's arrived early. More often than not, it's usually push back catering to a later time.
No one's complaining about getting access to food earlier, that's for sure.
I mean, these are operational considerations, and with the information, that insight from Jomablue, it enables someone on the floor in real time to make those decisions. That's just a starting point. Moving through to how you can deliver different experiences. You might have different categories of people, so you can have different experiences already set for them. In Jomablue, it's really easy to be able to deliver those experiences, like for a VIP or your speakers, for example. Event check-in offers an opportunity to see that data in real time. If you think about the journey, it typically starts with someone arriving, getting their badge, and they move through to sessions. It might be a keynote, could be some other session. If I look in Jomablue Insights, Again, I get real-time access to see how many people have checked into the room. For a keynote session, for example, it might be that you have to wait, you have to hold the show a few extra minutes because the room's not full yet. People are still in the expo, they're still having their coffee. Again, a real-time insight to be able to help make a good decision while you're there. Really though, it's about, what was a popular session? Pretty easy to tell, the room's full, they're flowing out the doors. But what was the less popular session and what was sort of the midpoint of that? So Jomablue Insights gives you all that information in real time and available after the event as well.
And what about attrition rates? Is that something that you can discern from Jomablue data?
Yeah, I don't think people use this enough. Thinking about the program, how do you schedule your day? What do you put at the beginning of the day? Typically a keynote. What's at the end? Maybe a lock note. With real data from Jomablue, check in for all the sessions. You can look across the day and see, are people leaving? Are they coming for the morning and then leaving? Is it worth having networking drinks in the afternoon? Maybe it should be a networking lunch when everyone's still there on site. So, some things that planners think about and event marketers think about have always worked, might turn out to be not so much the case, or it might be a chance just to tweak your program and deliver a better customer experience.
So moving then on to the exhibition component of your event. Maybe take us through some of the ways that people can uncover valuable data on attendee behaviour with the exhibitors and sponsors.
Yeah. Again, a place where I think some people do a great job, and I think there's more for people to learn about how to use that information. Again, it's pretty easy to tell a popular booth. There's people everywhere. There's a giveaway. There's some sort of prize. But what about those sponsors or those booths, those activations that are less busy? And for some people, it's not about volume, it's about value. And that's great. Some people it is about volume and they're not getting that. With the real-time insights in Jomablue, the sponsorship manager is equipped with this data. If I look in the vendors tab in Jomablue, I can see exactly who's captured how many leads. So it equips me as the sponsorship manager to go out to that booth that only has a fraction of the top number, might only be 10%, and have a conversation. Hey, are you after value? Are you after volume? Are you having a good experience? Rather than having to wait until after the event and have that uncomfortable phone call with whoever paid for the booth, it's an opportunity to be proactive and to go out on the floor and equipped with that real-time information. It's really easy to do.
So something we hear a lot of is how time poor event managers are, and to the viewers of this, I can assure you that I'm allergic to all things unstructured, unformatted data. So I really feel the pain that a lot of people, that sort of resistance that people get when it comes to, right, I have to do all this post-event analytics on a whole bunch of data that Jomablue is providing me. But how do I do that easily? How can I provide something in a timely manner to stakeholders of the event?
In Jomablue, we visualize it for you. So we have engagement scoring built right in. I'm looking at the engagement scoring tab now from a person who attended an event, and it's really simple and easy to consume. It can be color coded. So firstly, we visualize it. Stepping back a little bit, what is engagement scoring and how do we implement it in Jomablue? Engagement scoring is really about looking at all the possible opportunities for an engagement, for an interaction.
So what are some examples of interactions? I know that you've been taking us through the on-site journey, but spelling it out for our viewers.
When did someone arrive? Did they arrive? What sessions did they attend? Was it a session based on financial services? And did they then go to a sponsor who had a financial services offering? And then they went to the financial services activation and participated there. So that means they're pretty engaged in that financial services track. So as a marketer, I now know to nurture them down that path, as opposed to something else, the sales channel that was running as well. So that engagement scoring is really about looking at all the different possible interactions and sorting them, figuring out what does it actually mean. So I can talk to someone about financial services because that's what they're interested in, not just blast out to them post-event and say, hey, you came to the event, what was it you wanted to know about, why were you interested? I can start immediately nurturing down the path of my financial services campaign I've got coming up.
And then connecting that to this, the outset of this, we talked about how we're in this era of AI and ML and the importance of collecting a good source data set to begin with. Maybe some final comments from you, Sam, on how you do all of that. What's sort of the overarching goal here?
It's really about what you do next. And with the elevation really of the events marketing team, now with the opportunity to be able to gather all these insights, to gather all this data, and it's fresh and it's real, and it's not what someone's told you on a form or what they've necessarily done in terms of web traffic, which is now getting sort of stale. It's real, it's what they've done, it's very recent, and that feeds into those ML tools, that feeds into those AI tools. So it's the event marketing team that's now being elevated above the web team in terms of the data that gets pushed back through the organization, and in a structured way, using engagement scoring. So it's usable by the sales team straight away, usable by the marketing team straight away, and really by the events team to demonstrate ROI back to the business.
Wow, that sounds like a dream come true. Well, thank you very much for joining, Sam, and hope you all enjoyed. Speak soon.